The Moscow Times reports that in Azerbaijan, security forces have detained about 150 people in Baku at two separate rallies, including one by anti-government activists who were inspired by the Arab uprisings to use social media to call for the street protest. Police said 43 people were detained at the protest this past week near the Oil Academy, a major university in central Baku. The following day, about 100 supporters of the opposition Musavat party were detained as they protested the ruling party, according to Musavat's leader. Azerbaijan, an energy supplier to Europe and a transit route for U.S. troops in Afghanistan, has been ruled by one family for nearly 2 decades. Activists, inspired by the overthrow of autocrats in Tunisia and Egypt by pro-democracy protests, vowed to stage more demonstrations as they were being taken away by police outside the Oil Academy. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International called on the authorities to immediately release all the detained. Amnesty's Natalia Nozadze, who was at the protest, said, quote, "There is no justification for the heavy-handed tactics to be used against obviously peaceful protesters. The Azerbaijani authorities have an international obligation to allow peaceful protests. They must not continue to deny their citizens the right to freedom of expression and assembly." Demonstrators chanted liberty and called for the resignation of the president and also called for the release of imprisoned activists. Some of those present observing the protest said that they supported it but were too afraid to join in. The square was surrounded by over 100 policemen. They targeted individuals chanting slogans, covered their mouths, and dragged them to the police vans from the crowd. Police punched several protesters in the head after they had taken them into custody. They also kicked protesters, journalists, and another Amnesty International staff member as they cleared the square. Musavat party leader Isa Gambar told Amnesty International, quote, "We are calling for radical change. We want genuine democracy. We want dissolution of the parliament and new democratic elections."